Hello and welcome to Age of Empires 3. That is. There we go. That's better, is it not? So the Age of Empires 3, it seems to be the Age of Empires out of the entire series that the long-standing fans of both 1 and 2 never really liked. I never was a fan of 2, and I never played 1, so I guess I'm an anomaly amidst the player base of Ensemble Studios. But I really like this one. In the base version, I liked it to some extent. But with the expansion, the Asian dynasties, a lot of fun. I finally found a race that fits my playstyle, and you know, I don't. It's fun, I would say. I never played this game in the PvP mode. I only played PvE and through the campaigns, and campaigns are pretty good. I like them. In the Asian dynasties, it's very nice. All of them, except for the Japanese one. I didn't like some parts. I think somewhere around the start, the first few missions, I found them tedious. But you know, that aside. Oh, however, there is a surge. I don't know if recent. There's a surge in the player base, in the amount of players playing, because there's a mod that's called, I think, Iron War. I didn't know it was a thing. I was introduced to it by a member of the High Workshop Discord, one of the mods, Frank the Tank. And it adds a lot of races, different and unique playstyles, so I think I will install it at some point. But until then, it's just the base game. So, the difference between Age of Empires 2 and 1 and Age of Empires 3, the reason why I like it a lot, even more with the expansion, this one, is because it has some sort of progression, which AoE 1 and 2 never really did. That was my main gripe with it. Main reason why I couldn't really enjoy it all that much. And it's the same reason why I, tire out on battle royales, because every time you start with nothing. Because if you started with something, it would be unfair. So, oh, by the way, I'll change the face cam into a darker one, and I'll make it smaller when the gameplay begins. This is just so you can see me, and gestures in my face and whatever. So, what is it with this? This is a home city. And the way that the home city works is you gain XP in-game for any action you do. Draining units, destroying buildings, killing units, building buildings yourself. You don't get anything for researchers, but that's whatever. And you then gain points which you can spend on these various shipments, is what they're called. And in-game, inside of the game, there is a set amount of experience for each shipment. So once you reach a certain amount of experience, once you accumulate or gather enough experience, you gain a point, and you can order one shipment like this. They're by age, see? So this is age 1, age 2, age 3, age 4, and you can order one out of all of these shipments that you have unlocked. Some can be sent only once, some multiple times, some infinite times. And you can order resources, units, buildings even, because there's, what is it called? There's wagons, which have the construction resources, so it's basically a free building. Then there's trade something for the Indians, as in the natives, not these Indians that I'm currently going to be playing as. And the Indians, or the Asian dynasties, have rickshaws. So, you can also order buildings, you can order units, you can order ships, even on maps that have water. You can do all kinds of things. You can alter your playstyle, you can boost your economy or go for a different strategy. I really like it. Then there's also team cards, which benefit the entire team. There's cards which can completely flip your playstyle. Like, let's see, there's one. Indians are different from the other races in the sense that their villagers cost wood, not food. I find that really interesting because the problem I have with the regular races is, or with the regular playstyle, and one viewer pointed it out under an Age of Mythology, Wild Age of Mythology info video appears, or like, whatever, behind the scenes appears. that you get punished in games. He said in one, but I think it can be said broader. You get punished in games for playing, or for, trying to age up. That it costs food, but the food also is what you use up for villagers, for trading units, for doing upgrades, etc. In here, as the Indians, your villagers cost wood, but you start with an extra upgrade on wood gathering, and aging up costs food. And you can send a card that will allow you to switch from food back to wood, and you'll get a discount. Then there are cards which convert all your villagers into military, and cards which allow your heavy cavalry and regular cavalry to generate resources. All kinds of things. I really like some of the economical upgrades, because... Oh, and especially because the Asian races have a mechanic that's called the consulate, and in the export. When a villager of an Asian dynasty's race performs any action, gathering, hunting, any economical action, not attacking, and not walking, okay, the villager generates export, and you can then use the export to forge an alliance with one of the regular races from the base game, and you can get benefits for A, aligning yourself with them, B, you can then spend export to get units and upgrades and things you could never reach as an Asian race. So let's say you can even get a fort or a bank wagon, which builds a bank, or you can get armored ships. You can get all kinds of things, and I really like. There's a tree of cards specifically for that, and I just really like it. There's also cards which give, continuous bonuses. Then there's cards where you exchange one resource for a greater amount of another resource. And, I really, really, really enjoy this expansion to the game. And, oh, town rickshaw. No. So, I'll first start with the fort upgrade, because the Urumi are great. Next up will be... This is gonna take me a while, because I need to remember. Rice paddy. That's a thing... the Asian races play somewhat differently from the regular. Asian races, instead of having a plantation and a mill, have a rice paddy, which functions as both, but is more expensive, I think. So you can make it a lot cheaper. What else is there? Definitely that. Oh, and there's cards like this, as I said, continuous bonuses, where Indians, with each shipment they send in the game, they get a free villager. You can change that to get free military units, so you can focus on economy, but start getting some military without having to focus on military. I really like this playstyle, so I'm gonna... Oh, and the same goes for the consulate, where you can get free skirmishers. Gurkhas, or Gurkha, I'm not sure which of those it is. But you won't be getting shipments from the consulate all that often. You can adjust the rate at which you earn export, but that's going to decrease the speed at which you gather resources, so you gotta find a balance, There's the food to, or wood to food. Oh wait, there was a discount somewhere, I don't see it in here. Okay, well, whatever. And they also have some of the historical things incorporated, like you have the British East India Company, which gives you boosts, then you have the battlefield construction, which is going to allow your military, or sepoys, which is the main military unit. It's like a musketeer, but better and more expensive. You have the sepoys, which can build, military buildings, and it's just nice. Now, what was it here? Coin from mines. The last thing I wanted was, I think, this, Hill Castle. The thing with these is, acquiring a point early on to close to the mid-game is slow. So, what I usually do is pick up home city cards that allow me to somehow boost my economy or cheat the cost requirements, or cheat the research times, or cheat whatever. So this is another thing. The Asian races don't have a tower. They have a castle. And the castle can train usually a siege unit and another unit, like cavalry or something. So if I spend a point on getting a castle, it's not all that great, but what this also does, as you can see, it also boosts the castle hit points and damage. I get a villager and also the castle rickshaw. And the next one, the first boosts health and damage, and the second upgrades it into the next tier. So all castles from that point onwards will be upgraded. You know, and you can stack some of these team bonuses, and you can get... I never really, got anything of that sort, because I never played with players versus AI. It's always with AI versus AI. Oh, and then you gotta build the deck, because it has limits. So I'm gonna remove... Those are good. Cavalry, not. There we go. Put in that, this. No. This. And there we go. So now, let's get down to playing. A random Asian map. Team 1, Team 2, Team 2, and I'm gonna play with the Russian. The races have... They are relatively different from each other, some more than others. Like, the Russians always train in groups, but they have slightly... Well, look, okay. So if you train 3 villagers, it's gonna cost you 300 food, and it's gonna have a certain train time. Russians have to train in a group. They cannot train more at a time or less at a time, but they can train in a group at a slight discount with a slightly shorter training time. So, en masse, or en masse, just large numbers. Then you have the Dutch, which focus on banks, on money, and their villagers cost gold. Then you have Napoleon, who has stronger villagers, but they're more expensive. Then you have, let's see, Ottomans, which train villagers constantly at no cost, but you cannot cancel the villager training, and it has a longer training time, and the like, Then you have Japanese, which cannot hunt animals. Instead, they have shrines which generate resources. Then you have Chinese, which have rather weird army system, but again, it's unique, it's interesting, where instead of training a unit and another unit and another unit and another unit, they instead train banner armies, which are comprised of X of units of that type and X units of this type. Sometimes there's even a third type. And the cards of the Chinese revolve around, at least in the military section, revolve around converting all of your banner armies of this type into another type. And you can have massive power spikes. And it does fit both the theoretical side of things and the practical side of things. It's like, if you look at China in the historical sense, when there was an emperor instead of a... What? Do they have a president? Or... I don't know how it works in China. I think they... I mean, it's communism, but I think they have, like, the dictator or someone... Whatever. In the historical sense, there was an emperor, right? So when emperor issued a decree of, like, upgrade the military from this to that, it was a massive power spike because it could happen across the entirety of the country. And here, when you do that, your units get upgraded from this to that. That's also a massive power spike. It's like exchange old weapons for the new, or old armor for the better, and that kind of thing. Japanese have very strong units, rather expensive, but they can get units for free because they have dojos for training, and it's good. I like it. I like what it turned out to be with the expansions. However, I should cut this down because I have only 30 gigabytes of hard drive space left. Okay then. So what I'm gonna do is make myself this small, configure the video, do that. Now I'm gonna be smooth. You won't see much of me, but you'll still see my face. And let's get on with this. Oh, and also the explorers. There's a difference in explorers, sometimes in the buildings. Spanish are more focused on the ships, and whatever, and whatever. Okay. There's... Oh, and there's also treasures. I quite like the system of treasures as well. Because it's something to do. You have these explorers, and they're good against guardians of treasures. They have bonuses, as you can see right here, ×3.
This wealth will buy many warriors.
Yeah. You can get ×3 versus treasure guardians, and what you're supposed to do with these explorers is you can either explore, or you can, you know, just go treasure hunting. And it offers you various benefits, both economical, and then in the military sense you can also rescue units, you can rescue buildings, again, the wagons. There's also the naval aspect of things, and they also added naval treasures, which are, I think, are arguably a lot harder to rescue, because the sharks do a lot of damage. But you know, if you want to, you can do that. There's whales, which are infinite source of gold. There's fish, which is a finite source of food. And the soundtrack is pretty great too. Oh, I should be training. What am I doing? Oh, I need to get a house. Just get a house. And I should also pick up a... Oh shit, I'm getting trashed by monkeys. Not cool. Damn. The one thing about explorers is when they die, they become unconscious. They still provide you some sort of... consulate. Mango Grove, okay. They still provide you some sort of vision, but it's very small area of vision. And they will very slowly regain health. And once they reach a certain amount, they can, if you send a unit near them, they will get back up on their feet again. Alright, I have 400 food. Oh, it's 800. Okay, I for some reason thought it was 400. Maybe because of AoE Online. Anyway, so the way that Asian races level up, what am I saying? Age up, is... There's my free villager from the shipment. So I can cancel this, get a market, and get benefits. So the way that the Asian races age up is you have these wonders. They're available at every age, except for when you build one, it becomes available. The way they work is, they provide a bonus that's same throughout the entire course of the game. But the difference is that the later you build the wonder, the more powerful bonus it gives you. So Carnimata here, for example, the bottom left tile, gives me 200 of each resource. And as a power, it enhances nearby gathering. So it's really good to build it early on. But the resources it sends are not all that low either. So let's say that I build it now. I get 200 of each resource. And my economy is stronger moving forward, if I can keep the wonder alive. If it's destroyed, it's gone forever. I cannot build another. Next, I'll get a cheaper... No, I'll keep the point for the next stage. And get civil servants, which increases gathering speed for natural resources. A flat bonus. So, if I, however, go for... There we go. I'm gonna pick up the Agora Fort, I think. Although, nah, screw it. Let's pick up a Carnimata here. If I, however, pick up the Carnimata 2 to 3 ages faster, if I consider my economy to be strong enough, I can just get it later and get tons and tons of resources. I will get around 1,000 of each resource if I use the wonder to advance to the last age. And 1,000 of each in the crates which you saw at the start, which is a bonus which you get upon the start of every map. That is a significant boost. Maybe later down the line it's not as significant, but you get the idea. There is tactics to what do you want to build and when. I like that. I like that quite a lot. So, economy looking good. I will need to start paying attention to military. Yeah. Oh, another thing is these trading posts. You have various settlements around the map, or you have natives, which you can ally yourself with by building a trading post on the designated spot, or you can build on trading routes, which give you free resources whenever the caravan, or whatever it becomes, passes through, because you can spend resources to upgrade it. Oh, and another big thing, which I just realized you maybe could be confused about, is when the villagers gather, the resources go directly into your stockpile. Ship line of sight. Yeah, sure. Oh, and explorers get stronger with age. There we go. So, now I will take my conscript sepoys shipment, and because I saved a point, I will also get myself a castle shipment. Now, the Cornimata is increasing the gather rate of villagers. If I could only see how much...
Hello.
I know it's significant enough, and that's all that matters, really. Oh, you start with a monastery? I didn't notice. Oh, monastery or a saloon. For the Asian races, it is a monastery, which trains mercenaries. For the base game, it's a saloon. So, there's my sepoys, and from now on, I'll be getting military. Let's build a consulate, because it's really important. I don't need that many villagers. Oh, whoops, no. What's on... Oh, it's E. Okay. Getting attacked by an explorer who could have claimed my treasure. Yes, anyone can claim anyone's treasure. It's best not to do that if you want to be allies with someone. So, we gotta get more wood. We gotta start paying attention to gold too. Here's my castle rickshaw. I'm gonna put it right here so that it covers this side. There, and now it's building. The consulate is soon gonna be done. I have a ton of food, but I have no gold. So now, let's pick an ally. I usually choose the British because you get the land unit hit points bonus, and you can get musketeers and cannons, and some of these support units are also good. But, since it's this map... Oh wait, I should have sent the diplomatic intrigue, because not only do you receive extra export, which is the green resource you can see right here, but it cheapens the relations. So instead of 100 100 export, it's gonna cost only 25 to ally. So next stage is 1,000 gold. Holy. Well, I'm not gonna be spending any food for now. See? So I think it's looking pretty good. Let's go explore the right side of the island. Oh, and I'll only be gaining food because I have the fishing ships. Good, good. Where can I find some more fish? Oh, you can also get gold from the whales, huh? That's right. So I can basically exploit the sea. Give me 300 export. Where can I find... That's a difficult treasure to get, but it's 320 experience, if you can. Plus the experience for killing rhinos. So it's like almost 500 XP. And for the next level, I need exactly that amount. So, since the rhinos don't do a lot of damage, but they're very tanky, let's see if I can pull this off. That's an active ability. Every once in a while I can activate it to stun a guardian. Works only on guardians though. If I lose one explorer, it's not bad. The stun lasts for quite a while, and the explorers of mine can heal, which is a rather unique ability. So let's keep on making more. Consulate has already arrived, so let's get that, and I'll get a shipment. So now let's pick up faster military training, or faster infantry training, which is good. Gonna pick up these two, head over here and let them heal each other up for a bit. Pick up bureaucracy, and try out the Portuguese, because I could maybe leverage the naval power of mine in here. I should pick up a few more. I can age up again, so let's do that. This time I'll pick up the Agra fort, because if the enemy will come at me with units, it's probably going to be the bread and butter, as it's so often called. And the bread and butter of most of the base game races is a musketeer. And the musketeer is countered by skirmishers. So if I build a fort, I get skirmishers. And the fort can train units. I am! Thank you, my comrade. Anyway, if I build the fort, it acts as a barrack. So it can train units as well. So what can I get? I can get fishing ships. Nice. So let me go ahead and pick up... I should actually not build too much around the Carnimata, so that I can then fit units. Things like the rice paddies, etc. around it. Medicine increases health and health and damage of villagers. Right, now. Let's pick up the fishing boats and switch to faster export generation. There we go. So that slows down my gathering rate, but increases export generation. And because I have the Carnimata, I will be generating a lot of... I will be gathering faster anyway. Or maybe it's gonna negate the decrease from the export, but you know. So, what did I get? I got 3 fishing boats. By the home city flag, which you can reposition to any place where you have line of sight or where you have explored. Just kind of... Oh, no, only where you have line of sight. Okay. Alright. Let's go gather some more food. Ah, spies. Watch out for them. They are very dangerous to your explorers. But I prepared because of my... Keep them away from the explorers. They have like times 20 bonus versus explorers, so... Fire! There we go, the fort finished building in time. Get him. As I expected, the first attack was through the way of skirmishers. Skirmishers. Whatever. Fight! Times 40 against explorers. What the He almost killed him in one hit. 500 damage. Holy. Well, anyway. Now that that is out of the way, I need to find... It's best to exploit the natural resources while they last. So, upgrading helps you do that. Caravel full of petards. I can use that and bombard the enemy. Get 3 Gurkhas, get a shipment of units. The Mansabdar are really great, or the Urumi. I should pick that up. Some of the shipments may even cost resources, like this one. Alright, you two exit. You can build walls, but I don't really want to do that at the moment. What next? I have no armory. You can, on some maps, get an armory, which is great. So let's get an exploration fleet. And soon enough... there's gonna be a surprise for one of my enemies. So there's the caravel full of petards. Petard is a siege warrior that dies when it attacks buildings. Unlike in AoE 2, there is a short delay before the explosion happens. There's an animation that has to play out, so I think it's balanced. Okay. Oh, and the Russians, instead of having barracks and towers... Oh, he got a lot of... That's a skirmisher. very cheap but efficient in numbers. Instead of having barracks and towers, they have a blockhouse, which has the health of a tower, but the training capabilities of a barrack. Alright, I'm getting a lot of gold. I should... The one thing that I forgot though is that I can make upgrades, it's just that the fort cannot do them. It can only train... You can train in groups of up to 5. But that's, you know, that differs race to race. So, I can get... The armies are... You can keep on buying them over and over. But the buy button, the buy section, is a one-time boost. So I'll now end my relationships with them. And I will reassign my explorers with the Urumi, which are a great unit. They do a lot of damage, it's just they don't have that much health. So I now have a formidable force without spending too much on the unit training and on the military. But that's about to change. They're soon gonna farm out. Okay, let's make sure that this is prepared. There, I should pick up some more skirmishers, because countering is a big part of this game. You know, rock, paper, scissors, pikemen against cavalry, skirmishers against heavy infantry, that kind of thing. There, I got a level up from that. I'll pick up another castle, bolster my defense line again. I'll put the new one over here, because that's where the enemies were able to pass through. I'm fine with having one side exposed, but having two sides exposed is bad. One side is fine, because you know it's always more likely to be attacked, so you can prepare for it better. They aren't workless yet. Oh, that's great. Move up. I could maybe get that, actually. Meh, no. Let's not have it damaged, because... buildings, many of the buildings have an anti-ship attack that's separate from the regular attack, the rifle attack, or the cannon attack. See, and the anti-ship attack does a lot of damage. So, I'm gonna put this... Or maybe over here, so that it covers the barracks and the consulate. Yeah, that's probably better. Now that I'm allied with the British, I can buy more petards. Let's do that. Let's bring back the caravel, and I'm gonna load it up with explosives. Religion of peace. As goes the meme. To be fair, these are they look like European slash American, you know, but it's just a meme, it's just a joke, okay? Don't get offended over a joke. Jesus. There we go. Pick up some more. Oh, I can afford a frigate? Damn, I can blast them out of the... I'm 1 age away from a monitor, which is a very long range bombard ship. Mobile artillery is basically what it is, but it's very powerful. Oh no! Put forward the Urumi first. Fire! The one thing about the Sepoys is they have bonus against cavalry. Both melee and... well, no, only melee, but it's good enough, so... That's why they're so good as the bread and butter unit. Because cavalry is very powerful. So if we can dispose of it fast enough, you're the winner. Speaking of winning, I have enough for the next age, which I should do. Kill him, and get the Charminar Gate. The Charminar Gate... And there's some nice details in the game too, like these... when you're victorious in a fight, these celebrations and... you know... So the Charminar Gate. Let's have intervention. The Charminar Gate, what it allows you to do is train the so-called Mansabdar. What a Mansabdar is is... I will explain. Are you farming the whale? No, you're not, okay. I should increase the health just in case that there's strong anti-ship defense. And I should also start getting some food again. And start mining gold. So what a Mansabdar is... A Mansabdar... There's a dead explorer, by the way, that's what it's like. When a Mansabdar is trained... A Mansabdar is a unit that emits an aura which increases health and damage of nearby friendly units of the same type. It's like a captain. However, you can have only one captain. So it's best, as the Indians, to attack in waves. And to send a Mansabdar with each wave.
Now that you have access to more powerful troops, my role must temporarily be that of support.
Of course. We can agree on that. That's why I chose Ivan. Ivan's good, down to earth, you know. So, they however take up more supply and cost a lot more resources to train, but are better themselves. So here's my shipment of... These are units from the Charminar Gate. Pretty good. It's basically the Urumi, which is already nice. And I forgot to say, the Urumi are special in the sense that they upgrade automatically with age. So the longer you keep them alive, the better. Urumi are already good, and Mahout, very expensive, a lot of population, very good attack, is what I got from getting the Charminar Gate this late. So I let my economy be stronger, I left the military behind, but in exchange I got two very powerful units. So where are my workers? I don't know where the fuck did they go. What's happening? Oh no! They have war elephants. Get in, hide. I think I'll help because they're damaging his economy. And I'm close. Okay then. The natives are very strong, as in the Sioux and the Aztecs, etc. So anyway, because I allied with the British consulate, my units have 10% extra health, which combined with the Mansabdar is going to be great. There. Okay, is this all villagers? It is. So now I will go ahead and... What did I want to do? Oh, houses. Build houses. Many houses. And sorry, I will have to check how is the hard drive space. 26 gigabytes left. That's good. So the caravel is still in one piece. All the ships are still working. That's good. Meanwhile, the monks are healing up the army. Get a Sepoy, then a Mansabdar Gurkha. And since I have Mahout Lancers, I'm thinking of getting a Mansabdar Mahout, which is crazy expensive. Then pick up 12 Sepoys, which is gonna be in reality 14 Sepoys. Maybe I'm gonna actually pick up the rice paddy instead, because I'm starting to mine out resources in my vicinity. But there's no need for that yet. What there is a need for, however, is getting one of these.
War to the hilt! Let us combine our forces to destroy the enemy here.
With what? Excuse me. You don't really have much to begin with. They have to be getting the elephants from, yeah, from one of the natives. Because that's not a native unit. Oh, Conquistador! Ooh, good against cavalry. Oh, and why I got them is because they have this. Smokeless powder. Increasing gunpowder unit basic attack. Oh, oh, you fucked up. That's a fort wagon. Goodbye, fort. Fort wagons are... It's self-explanatory. It's a fort. Packed in a wagon. Builds for free, but if you're too greedy with it like the AI sometimes is, it likes to build at your doorstep, you get fucked. Decreasing villager train time. Some of these trading posts have great bonuses, and the sooner you get them, the better. But they cost a lot of wood. So, you know. Get that. Expeditionary force. 6 redcoats or a falconet. I'll pick up some conquistadors in the meantime. I have no villagers on wood, so let's do that. Oh, I wanted the Mahout, right? Damn, 500 wood. Give me that. There's the Mansabdar. Let's not forget him. And I'm gonna have it like this. They're not all that great, but they have ×3 against cavalry in range, and they have a bonus against siege. And siege can be really devastating, and I have nothing against siege if my melee group dies. So, pick up the Mahout. There. Howdahs, which are basically elephant riding gun towers. That's the best I can explain it. Are crazy good, but also crazy expensive. I cannot afford to keep them at the moment. Since I have the market, I'm gonna sell some food, buy some wood, to try and... Oh, I played myself, okay. To upgrade the sepoys once. I should get to gathering gold. Did I upgrade a paddy? I didn't. But I soon will be able to do it. We're on schedule here. I think I'll leave these 14 in the base to defend, because as sufficient as my defense so far is, it's not perfect. There's the Mahout. So, the stats are 1200 health, 33 damage on a regular Mahout. If I bring in the Disciplined, if the Mansabdar, they now have 1300 health and do 36 damage. It's not a lot, but when you look at the Mansabdar, it has a ton of health. It's a great tank. And yes, there is a Mansabdar for the Urumi. It's in one of the shipments you unlock later down the line. So we're mining, that's great. I'm gonna now grab the Honored Sepoy, which is gonna upgrade my attack wave even further. I could also grab the... I'm probably gonna grab the Flying Buttress. And that's gonna improve my defenses. It's best to not ignore the natives, really. Some of them can even get you like 2000 wood, 2000 coin, etc. or free units per game time. So, there's the rice paddy, there's 2 extra sepoys, 16 now. There we go. Starting to lag a bit, I think it's because of the amount of units that are on the map. Oh, holy shit. Well, ready the firing line. Fire! I gotta send the Mansabdar and the Mahouts into the backline because they do area damage. There we go. Can upgrade the Conquistadors, which I maybe should, because they are very fast, they're good against siege. But the Aztecs don't... The Iroquois have siege, as in cannons, etc. Whoa, get the fuck out of my house. Woman on woman violence. Demonetized by YouTube. They return? No, they didn't. You know, The AI is sometimes gonna do stuff like this. So we're moving up. The Petard squad. Oh, there's the siege that I mentioned. Grab the conquistadors. Flank. Stop being stuck. Flank. And shoot. The siege has a lot of health, and they can devastate the regular units, like the bread and butter, you know. There's a fort. So, if I can secure the area for long enough... Get out of here, lol. If I can secure this area for long enough for him to get the wagon in here, basically escort the wagon, and protect the build site, a fort is amazing. An amazing structure. It's just... It's gonna attract attention when it builds. Alright, I got 90 food. I have enough for Honored Gurkha. Let's do that. I will soon have enough for the British Expeditionary Force and get a cannon of my own. Oh, I forgot to say, the Stomp, the activated ability can be used only on Guardians, but the Stomp is against anyone. There. He started building. Forts are very expensive. There is one race where you can buy many fort wagons. And the base races of the game weren't forgotten either. With the expansions, they got the option, when you're in age 3, before you go into the industrial age, which is the age I'm in, you can choose to advance to the industrial age, or revolt and become a self-sufficient colony. However, all of your workers become militia, which is 200 health, it's okay. You can no longer train villagers, so you can no longer gather food, but you can get around that. Build factories, and you can then keep on, you know, receiving units and doing whatever. You get new unit types, and militia is okay. It's just, it's something of a last resort if you're getting your, as the saying goes, shit pushed in. I didn't create it, but it's used at times. When that's happening, you can just mass villagers, revolt, and suddenly all your villagers are okay military. So since I wasn't attacked, and it seems like we'll be able to hold him here now that the fort is done, I'll get rid of this trading post, which is gonna take away... It's not gonna take away the elephants, never mind. But they're at least not gonna have as many. Regroup, they're coming in to attack. Oh, and right as I leave... Barbary coursers are pretty good against buildings. Let's see if I can get 5 of poison time. They're gonna kill a Gurkha, but it's fine. I haven't upgraded the fort, so it's not gonna be able to kill them alone. In this game, unlike in AoE 2 and 1, you cannot repair while something is under attack. You have to wait, and then this button becomes available, the red one in the bottom right. Our ships, they finished, okay. I thought I had somehow little food. Oh, somehow little food is right. All of the ships stopped working. There we go. Well, it's time to bring the heat to them. The Petard caravel is still in one piece, and thanks to my ally scouting, I now know that the town center is there, which is very close to water, just like mine. There we go, and the wonder still stands. However, it's going to be very costly because it's a wonder. I used coal and food to build it, so it's... And the later you build it, the more expensive the repairing gets. The wonders have downsides, and I like that, you know, they're not all just great. So we're gonna deal with these. I'm gonna build one more trading post before the attack initiates. Oh, and caravels can also farm, you know, fish, etc. Once again, this is your, like, sort of villager. Sort of. Ah, fuck. There. They haven't finished building. Get on with the trade post. And if I had the card which makes your sepoys be able to build military buildings, like castles and barracks, I could build a forward defense line over here next to the fort. So, so for every 2 minutes of the game, you get one fully maxed out goat. You get a decrease to villager hit points, but you increase all gather rates. Even better with Carnimata, and if I play as rice paddies, that's a gold mine. Increasing villager limit. There is a villager limit. 99. This increases it how much? I want to see. There are also races which get 108. That's good. There are races which get bonus when training native units. Now that I have the rice paddy, so villagers lost, I don't know how much health, but I'm gonna pick up the rice paddy. And the way it then works is you switch to and from gold and food production. Slow, infinite source of food or coin. It's not gonna be that slow though, because I am currently in the process of receiving a rum distillery shipment. And you can set separate rally points for regular units, for economic units and military units. You can switch the point where your shipments are delivered, the so-called home city shipment point. It can be any military building that has an attack of its own. It's like the town center, the castle, the Agra Fort Wonder, and then outposts. Oh, he's getting shit on. And soon it's gonna be me next on the line. Food or coin? Let's switch to coin. So, gotta... Okay. I'm gonna put 3 of these on the whale over here. As Forsen would say, on your mom. Haha, so funny. Anyway. What's left? Poof. Down he goes. I hear the thundering of cannons, but I don't see any. Whatever. Let's get down to business. If I upgraded the conquistadors enough, they would be really great, but I haven't upgraded them a single point, so they're mediocre. So I have to draw all the military attention of purple over here, then I can bomb the hell out of the other side of the town. It seems like no one's home, so... Ah, shit. I packed 4 back into the ship, but that's fine. Maybe it's a waste, but I'll use it in the case that he's gonna come back with units that are currently out. There we go. That's bombed. And I know there's another town center somewhere, so let's go. Actually, fuck it. Bombard! Ships have abilities, yes. Bombarding from the sea. Take out the plantations. Plantations are a great source of experience. Yeah, it seems like purple got trashed on. And Ivan even joined me. There we go. Meanwhile, the fort is deforesting this area because splash damage from cannons... Trees have hell. Splash damage from cannons can destroy all the trees. Because when a villager attacks the tree, basically attacks, it loses all the health but stays up. When a cannon fires at it, it knocks the shit out of the tree. But they never attack trees directly, that's the thing. Hey Isabella, isn't it about time to surrender? She must have... Yeah, I did that. She must have another town center. I think it's somewhere down here.
Please, let me leave here with some shred of dignity.
When the AI surrenders, what happens is you stop gaining experience from killing anything of its, but you no longer have to keep on hunting for it around the map. Oh, and there's a limit on how much XP you can gain per play session. You know. I'm currently fine with getting just one level. So I'm gonna unload the petards over here. Of course, if this was PvP, I would have gotten the shit kicked out of me because I haven't put too much attention to the waters, although I have made fishing ships because they cost wood and they're basically a wood to food conversion. But I think they gather faster than a villager does. Etc, etc. Oh! Wait, hold on. Game options? There is... Is it advanced unit information? I think it is.
Hello?
No. Options. There's somewhere an option to enable for you to see how fast someone or something is gathering. Like that, maybe? Is that it? No. Well, whatever. And you also have this history lesson about each of the units and buildings in the game. And I'm not joking. You know. So you can also get to read a bit, learn. And I, for example, learned that there was a mercenary type of person, let's say, in the past that was called a fusilier. And a fusilier was rather expensive, but also rather powerful. Or that's at least how it is in the game. Very, very expensive, but they are much better than your regular musketeer. Much. But their cost goes through the roof, out of the house, onto the orbit, and all the way to the Mars. That's the best way I can describe it. Fire in the hole! No town center for you. See? So, with Consulate, you can get great things. You can achieve great things. And you can beat the hell out of your opponent. But, you know, this is versus AI. But I like the playstyle of the Indians. And there's a lot of fun to... I'm sure there's a lot of fun to be had when you play PvP or when you play PvE with other players, because you can combine the team-wide bonuses, you can try out different strategies.
I do not know how, but you were the better war chief today.
And with that, I get the win. And now for the post-game summary. You know, it's... I like the game. Ultimately, the only point where it falls short is it has nothing like StarCraft 2's co-op progression system. There's no dedicated PvE. It's only PvP or skirmish. But it's a lot of fun, regardless. So if you watched to the very end, I thank you for watching the video. And I'll see you in the next one. And if you liked the video, remember to subscribe. I think I'm gonna add this line to the end of every video from now on. Remember to subscribe if you like the video. My name's yet another YouTuber, and I'm signing out.